Hello, America. Tonight, America is being asked to choose. We're being presented with a choice. Here's the first choice. The free market system, bad. The economy is sinking. People are Homer Simpson. This is what one choice is, that the free market is bad, and the American people, they're just stupid. They're like Homer Simpson. And the government is the answer. Is this the choice you choose? A lot of Americans do. Here's your first choice. Here's choice number 2. The free market changed the world. People can be stupid. There are greedy people. There are bad people. But generally, people are good, and the people will figure it out and clean up the mess. Government is the problem. Which one? Which one, America? Which one do you choose? Because I have to tell you, it can only be one or the other. One side wants a babysitter and take away all the possibility of bad choices, and the other side is maximum freedom. And if you don't believe me that one side wants to take away your choices to make bad choices, well, then you've got to stick around. Do you want somebody to make the decisions for you? Or do you want to be held accountable for your own actions, accepting the responsibility and having the right to pursue happiness the way you see it? The nation is being redefined. Knowing why and knowing what's going on is more critical than ever before. The news will only give you a little bit. Let me give you some perspective that they won't. Tonight, you choose. Let's go. Dolly's lady love. The Globe. Glenn Beck's sex tape scandal and the mystery woman behind it. There's nothing like walking in the grocery store going, there's a sex tape out with me in it. I'll get to this later. Quite interesting. Of course, man has baby, too, on page 12. All right. It's going to be a wild ride tonight because we end up here. But that's not the weird part. Believe it or not, I tonight am going to take you from French fries to riots. And I'll show you how we go from French fries to global unrest. It's, I like to call them friots. How in the world do we get to global mayhem from a tasty side? Well, we have to start. Maybe it's the mystery woman with Michelle Obama, who is talking now about how to fight childhood obesity. Watch.
What I am asking is that you consider reformulating your menu in pragmatic and incremental ways to create healthier versions of the foods that we all love. Could mean serving 1% of skim milk. Or you could make healthy sides like apples, slices, or carrots the default choice in a menu and make fries something customers have to request.
That is such a good idea. Now, my first thought when she's talking to the NRA was she was speaking to the NRA, and then I realized it's the National Restaurant Association. That makes a little more sense. When I heard this, I thought, get your damn hands off my fries, lady. If I want to be a fatty and shovel French fries all day long, that is my choice. But, no, not so fast anymore. Because now we have the new fact, whether you like it or not, we have government health care now. Well, what does that have to do with French fries? Did you miss the show about a year and a half ago? Because the nation's health care costs are directly tied to the government, and obesity is one of, if not the most costly conditions, costing you and me now at least $150 billion a year. You know those fat people that sit in their couch, and I mean really fat. I mean, not like me. I mean the people who, like, their skin grows into the couch, and then, they call the fire department, they cut them out of the wall, and then they have to bring in a truck, and then they take them to the hospital. I say let them die. I say punish the person who's been bringing them the milkshakes that allowed them to eat and not get up off the couch. Maybe, am I too harsh? You can make the argument now the government has a vested interest in intervening and keeping the costs low. Have to. It's for the good of all of us. But they know coming out and banning things like French fries, not really going to go over well. Yeah. Have progressives ever done that before? Oh, yes. Thank you for asking. Yes, they have. And it's a good thing we have our little time chart. Because if you know history, you're going to be able to remember. Let's see. 1920. It's the 18th Amendment. What is that? That is prohibition. Oh, people are just too stupid. A lot of alcoholics, you know. Yes, thank you. A lot of alcoholics. It's best for society if we just say no to booze. Well, that worked out well. By the way, one of my favorite movies, The Untouchables. Ever see that? It's great. Uh-oh, wait a minute. That had something to do with this. Yes, that's right. From 1920 to 1933, we had prohibition. No booze. Yeah. Didn't work out well. Remember Sean Connery? You've got to choose. What are you prepared to do? Remember that? Yeah. Didn't work out well, so now we can't just ban things. No. We've learned from history, so we have a new approach. Now, we don't ban. No. We nudge. We can just nudge people. Yeah. What is a nudge? Oh, look at this book. It's nudge. See, what nudge is instead of banning it, you'll just have to special order French fries or hide them. Keep them off the menu. You'll have to request, do you have French fries? Oh, yes, we do. You don't want those tasty, yummy carrots? No. Fries. So the default option on the menu would be carrots or yummy apples. Well, it'll make it harder, more inconvenient to order. Now, where did she get that idea? Man, where would she get that idea? 2008 book. What's it called? Nudge. Oh. Improving Decisions About Health, Wealth, and Happiness. Oh my gosh, it's written by Cass Sunstein. Isn't he the regulatory czar? Yes. In it, he defines things like pure choices. So, technically, you're still free to choose. You can do it. Yeah. You know what's weird? On the very first page of this book of Nudge, do you know what the example is? I love this. It is such a great example here. It's an example of the cafeteria and a worker who says, maybe we should put carrots at eye level for the kids and French fries kind of out of the way so nobody sees them. Oh. Now, I'm sure it's just a coincidence that Michelle used the same example as the book, and this is definitely not Cass Sunstein, a hatched plan from our regulatory czar. No. And surely it's just another coincidence that there's an ad campaign. Oh, you're going to love this. An ad campaign now being launched in Washington, D.C. this week. And it's sad. Kids, look out. It's against McDonald's. Here it is. Yep.
High cholesterol, high blood pressure, heart attacks. Tonight, make it vegetarian.
By the way, that's not an ad for McDonald's, in case you missed that. The hamburger in the dead man's hand. Yes, hamburgers kill. I just thought the Hamburglar stole stuff. He steals your life. So, now, for those people who don't laugh at that ad, they're going to be nudged. They're going to say, I want the carrots. But for all normal people, but remember, we're Homer Simpson, the nudge isn't going to work. I mean, as tempting as carrots are over fries, people are still going to choose French fries. And if you put creamy nacho cheese sauce like Velveeta or whatever that cheese is, it's almost 50% plastic. Oh, you can charge me double. All right. So then what? Well, you're going to have to tax. You're going to have to make it more and more difficult. But when those options don't work, how do you get people to stop eating French fries? Because French fries still beat carrots. What's left? Well, now you have to start thinking about punishments. Maybe a fine. Maybe even jail. But it always starts with a nudge. That's why I say this man's the most dangerous man in America. Because how can you really argue about giving kids healthier foods and more carrots? What kind of bad human being are you? Yeah, it sounds good enough on the outside, so nobody pushes back because, who's against healthy kids? It's happening right now, though, in another field. Are we getting a step closer to our fry-it? Yes! French fries to riots. Next stop. Boop, boop. Kids medicine. Kids meds. Yes, now, we all know Tylenol can kill kids. Yes. So can Benadryl, especially if you're using it as a nighttime medicine. So, kids go... It can kill. But you can't ban that stuff. No, you can't do that. Because people would say, your children's Tylenol? I have to have a prescription? Yes, a prescription now. Don't ban it. Just make it more difficult for stupid people like Homer Simpson to get. But if the media would bother to investigate and shine the light on the person I call the most dangerous man in America, then perhaps the American public will feel a little differently. Because these two stories, the fries and the children's Tylenol, have been running all day today. But nobody's talked about Cass Sunstein and where this all leads. Well, theblaze.com is a news site that I started because of people like Cass Sunstein. The media ignores this guy, and he has more power than perhaps even the President of the United States because he is going to make all of the regulations of these new 2,500-page laws. I've hired journalists. I've hired journalists that are objective, and they go out and they cover the stories the mainstream media drops the ball on. Well, today there was a 3-part series on Cass Sunstein on theblaze.com, and I want you to listen to what this man is saying. First of all, he treats Americans like lab rats. He doesn't believe that we're capable of making pure choices on our own. You're too stupid. People are Homer Simpson. You're too stupid or incompetent. Listen how Cass Sunstein describes the average American citizen.
We think, that is my co-author Thaler and I, that there's a little Homer Simpson in all of us, that sometimes we have self-control problems, sometimes we're impulsive, and that in these circumstances, both private and public institutions, without coercing, can make our lives a lot better.
Once we know that people are human and have some Homer Simpson in them, then there's a lot that can be done to manipulate them.
That's great. Oh, did you catch that last line? Once we know that people are like Homer Simpson, there's a lot we can do to manipulate them. Oh, I feel so warm and fuzzy inside. Gang, this is the way the progressives view you. They have since the turn of the century. Since Teddy Roosevelt started the Progressive Party. Pete Stark and the other progressives, you remember that guy who was like, yes, little person, yes, you worry about the Constitution. Remember that guy? The congressman from California. He had that I'm better than you attitude, and almost everybody in Congress has that attitude. That is the progressive attitude. They believe that you are stupid like Homer Simpson. And the government administrators need to hold their hand, your hand, from cradle to grave. Free market is bad because it allows you to make decisions, and you are stupid, and that's why the government is the answer. You got it? All progressives, from Margaret Sanger, who wanted to reduce the number of undesirables, meaning minorities, Woodrow Wilson, who was the biggest racist of all, Walter Lippmann, who thought we could breed a smarter voter through eugenics,